Imagine this. You're sitting in your living room on a quiet December night when suddenly the sky explodes in color. A fireball tears across the horizon, crashing into the woods just outside town. Minutes later, people gather. Police show up. You see it. A metallic object, covered in markings that look like ancient symbols. Then, black vans, unmarked men, soldiers with no names. And just like that, it's gone. And everyone's told to shut up. Forever. This isn't fiction. It happened. December 9th, 1965. Kecksburg, Pennsylvania. The UFO crash that the U.S. government tried to wipe from history. But some memories refused to be erased. This is the story of the night the FBI erased a town. It was a chilly Thursday evening. At exactly 4:47 p.m., thousands of people across 6 U.S. states and parts of Canada reported a glowing fireball hurtling through the sky. Most thought it was a meteor, at first. In the tiny town of Kecksburg, Pennsylvania, population barely 2,000, that fireball crashed into the woods. Local radio stations were flooded with calls. News crews mobilized. John Murphy, a reporter from WHJB Radio, was one of the first on scene. He saw something he would never forget. It wasn't a meteor. It wasn't a plane. It was metallic, acorn-shaped, and it had markings, like hieroglyphics. John Murphy, 1965. Eyewitnesses described the object as bronze-colored, roughly the size of a Volkswagen Beetle, half buried in the soil, still warm to the touch. One child, Bill Bullbush, just 10 at the time, was playing nearby when he saw the crash. He described it as something out of this world. Police set up a perimeter. Firefighters arrived. Then, the military showed up, fast. How did the U.S. Army mobilize within 2 hours of the crash, when the area was completely rural? That's when the story turns. As night fell, the area became a no-go zone. Locals were forced back. Soldiers with no insignias took over the site. Witnesses claimed the object was loaded onto a flatbed truck, covered in tarp, and driven away in the dead of night. Radio reporter John Murphy, initially excited to break the story, suddenly went silent. His original audio recordings were confiscated. He came back shaken. He said he was told to drop it, that it was dangerous. Murphy's wife. 2 weeks later, Murphy aired a watered-down version of his original story. A year later, he died in a mysterious hit-and-run accident during a vacation in California. No charges were filed. Multiple Kecksburg residents say they were threatened. One woman claimed she was told her family would disappear if she kept talking. And then, no headlines, no follow-ups. The entire incident vanished from public record. The official explanation? It was a meteor. Except, NASA later admitted that no meteor fragments were ever found at the site. In the 1980s, UFO researcher Stan Gordon reopened the Kecksburg case. Through interviews and FOIA requests, he uncovered a disturbing pattern. FBI and Air Force documents related to Kecksburg were either heavily redacted or missing entirely. One FBI memo dated December 16, 1965, mentioned a recovered object, but gave no description. The rest was blacked out. Another document referred to Project Moondust, a classified Cold War program tasked with recovering foreign space debris and non-terrestrial technologies. Gordon also tracked down a former radar operator stationed nearby. The operator confirmed that whatever crashed in Kecksburg had changed trajectory mid-air, as if it was controlled. So if it wasn't a meteor, what was it? One theory, a Soviet space probe, but even that doesn't add up. No known Soviet craft had that acorn shape, and the hieroglyphics, nothing like Cyrillic. Another theory, Nazi Bell technology, part of post-war experiments tied to Operation Paperclip. But the most compelling theory? Extraterrestrial, A small reconnaissance craft, damaged, crashed, and immediately recovered by U.S. intelligence. Let's ask the real question. Why the cover-up? Why erase an entire incident from history? In 1965, America was deep in the Cold War. The last thing it wanted was public panic about alien technology. Worse, what if enemy nations knew we had it? The Kecksburg crash may have been the first successful recovery of an intact UFO. Think about it. Isolated rural area, low civilian interference, swift military extraction. No media presence. After day one, no satellite tracking released. Many believe the object was taken to Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, the same location rumored to house Roswell debris. From there, it vanished into the classified world. Whistleblowers who later tried to speak out, military engineers, intelligence officers, either recanted or disappeared from public view. Despite decades of silence, the Kecksburg incident refuses to fade. In 2005, NASA finally admitted they had studied the Kecksburg object, but claimed all records were lost in a fire. Lost in a fire. Pennsylvania locals still hold annual UFO festivals to remember what happened. Statues of the mysterious acorn-shaped object now stand in Kecksburg. Multiple documentaries, including episodes of Unsolved Mysteries and Ancient Aliens, reignited interest in the case. And in 2009, former Air Force radar operator Curtis Collins went on record saying the craft was not from Earth. So, if even half of this is true, then the Kecksburg crash wasn't just a UFO incident. It was the moment the U.S. government made contact and decided the rest of us didn't need to know narrator, serious, slow. They told the town it was a meteor. They buried the documents. They silenced the reporters. But the people of Kecksburg remember, and some secrets, no matter how deep you bury them, always find their way back into the light, fade in eerie music, light ticking clock. If this is what they erased in 1965, imagine what they're hiding today. End screen prompt. Subscribe for more declassified mysteries. This was the Shadow File.